Hey, Graham,
Yes, Andy.
do you want to talk about NFTs with me?
I do.
Oh, great.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Episode 4.
Fungibility. Hey, everybody. Tweet of the week. Oh, that wasn't supposed to happen. False alarm. We're not doing that yet. Welcome to episode 4 of the Polished NFT show.
That's a real stinger, that tweet of the week. You just had to get it out there.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, I can't wait. I don't even know what it is. It's a secret. It's a mysterious tweet of the week. Graham is hiding from me. We'll get there, though, everybody. Welcome to episode 4 of Fungibility. My name is Andy.
I'm Graham.
This is Graham. Yeah.
What do we got for him today, Andy?
Well, we got all kinds of things. But mostly we got a bunch of these. So, I would be the worst DJ, the world's worst.
No, we need to bring in like a fake producer that we yell at for all of these glitches that happen.
Yeah,
we need a good name though.
Producer
Brandon.
Brandon, stop interrupting me. I wish we had sound effects.
Brandon will get them.
Brandon, get us some sound effects. Thank you. Anyways, so we're gonna cut all of that.
We got headlines on headlines on headlines.
Today, instead of, we were initially going to talk about all the different marketplaces that you can buy NFTs, and we'll do that later. You don't really care about that.
Life happens sometimes, Andy, and neither of us were prepared for such a conversation.
Easter, yeah, Easter happened, man. Things were busy. So we'll talk about that stuff. I do look forward to talking about some of that and learning some of that with you. But there's a lot going on in the NFT world, isn't there, Graham?
Yeah, enough that we thought we could do a whole episode just on new developments.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. So we're going to just get right into it because this first one's kind of cool. Miami is putting up CryptoPunks all over the city on these billboards.
CryptoPunks
kind of crazy.
Were things that we talked about last week, correct?
That's right. Yeah, those NFTs from 2017 that blew up and kind of made way for NFTs as we know them today.
Miami is really trying to be like the city that's in the crypto NFT space.
Oh, are they now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, their mayor is very, I don't know what you want to say, forward thinking, Ethereum. Yeah. He's like pro all the crypto stuff.
That's very interesting.
It is.
The funny thing is, like, these things aren't that great to look at. Like, if you're gonna put an NFT on a billboard, like the most simplistic, like, I don't know.
Oh, dude, the more I see them, the more I like them. I
No
don't
kidding.
know what it is. Like,
Yeah.
I'm strangely attracted to them. I know they will never be something, likely never something that's in my price range, but
we're going to crowdfund a CryptoPunk for you, Graham.
Fractional investing. I'm all about it.
Yeah, we're going to do that too.
This does segue nicely into something I saw the other day, so the Masters Golf PGA Masters tournament is this weekend, starting tomorrow, Thursday. And I went on DraftKings, which is daily fantasy website, and one of the tournaments was called Putt for a Punk.
No
Do
kidding.
you know what first prize is?
No
for
way.
That tournament?
A freaking CryptoPunk.
CryptoPunk.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So first prize in this tournament is a CryptoPunk. So obviously I entered it knowing nothing about DFS golf. But
what? Oh, the DraftKings prize is a CryptoPunk. That's amazing. All right.
Yeah. You pick 6 golfers, and hopefully I'll have the highest score, and I'll be the proud owner of a CryptoPunk next week.
Well, there you go. Well, speaking of sports figures, Graham, have you heard Tom Brady's new venture?
I have.
He is launching an NFT company called Autograph. Apparently, he is trying to round up his sports buddies and make money not only off of his own NFTs, but he's gonna make money off of everyone's NFTs in some way, shape, or form. Eh?
I mean, I think he's just a smart dude who realizes this is a good opportunity.
He probably wants to like get ahead of like, listen, these athletes are going to do this one way or another. Like, I might as well
Absolutely
try to like drive the ship. And
I mean, Autograph is a pretty cool name and like kind of drives on that ownership point.
Yes, the connectivity of fans to the celebrity or to the athletes, it's perfect.
And I think it goes beyond. I think it's like entertainment figures, fashion stuff.
Oh, really?
I do.
Oh, Giselle getting in on it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So yeah, and a lot of that stuff, like the like DeChambeau and Patrick Mahomes NFTs that we talked about, a lot of these are gonna have like physical items that come with the NFT, or they'll have in-person experiences, stuff like that.
Well, I make fun of it and stuff because I just, every time I see another athlete cranking out NFTs, I just do the same sort of like head shake thing, like you're just trying to cash in. But so I say that, but I also will say that I think something like Autograph could help this process, where you give the athletes some sort of framework. Like, this is what would bring value to what you're doing more than just a money grab. And this is what like the fans will really enjoy, so that it's a win-win and not just kind of like I like that player, so I'm going to give him my money.
I think that's the major point to me, and why I think this will be big. Like the Patrick Mahomes thing, it's a standalone item. It's not attached to anything else. It's like not part of a larger framework, like you said. But like if all of this stuff is within the same platform, I feel like that's going to be more attractive to people.
Yeah. I still don't like Tom Brady. I never
will. Just appreciate the fact that you've been alive to watch his insane football run.
It's good. It's probably why I don't like him. He's beaten me, my Steelers, too many times.
As a depressed Cowboys fan, I don't really care. Go ahead, win another one, Tom.
Yeah, so frustrating. So that one's interesting. So here's another one. Bunch more celebrities. Guy Oseary, Ashton Kutcher, Mark Cuban, and Snoop Dogg. Seems like a likely quartet of people.
Who is that first person?
Guy Oseary. Don't ask. I don't have any idea. I don't even know if I'm saying his name right. He's the only one I don't know of the four, but he's apparently famous in his own right. He has a company with Ashton Kutcher. I believe the two of them have a joint venture.
He's a talent manager.
There you go. Fantastic. So the four of them are working together to invest in a Shark Tank-like NFT pitch contest, which is hilarious to me that Mark Cuban is involved in that as well. It's like he's going to be sitting at another chair just watching people throw ideas at him. But it's like, what's the next big NFT going to look like?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I've been racking my brain too, because it's like,
of course, we're still early. You can come up with something.
Yeah. Like the next great idea, is going to do well. If you can figure out, especially if you can figure out utility for NFTs, like what can they do that we haven't done yet? Like whoever decided that admissions tickets would be a good idea, or that a deed to a house, like those sorts of things.
Yeah.
But I don't have the programming mind to do any of that. So
yeah, you have the creative mind though.
Yeah,
maybe inspiration will strike. But yeah, I mean, it was only a matter of time. I was kind of thinking with Mark Cuban getting so involved, I was like already thinking, when are the NFT pitches going to start coming to Shark Tank? But right. But now I guess they'll just have their own contest. Yeah. So this isn't like a show. This is just going to be people pitching.
That remains to be seen. I would be surprised if it wasn't a show.
I would be too. But
in some capacity.
Do people know enough? I don't know. Is there widespread knowledge about NFTs yet?
I don't know.
'Cause even when I was reading articles from the Tom Brady autograph thing, like there wasn't a lot of information, and everyone has the same like initial thing, like if you don't know what an NFT is, or if you still don't know what an NFT is, and I wonder how long we're gonna have that in every article about an NFT.
It's true. Will you talk about Alexandra?
Yes, I loved this one. Alexandra Olenkova. Probably butchered that. She's a Croatian tennis player. I don't think she's on like the what's the primary tennis tour? I don't know. I think she's like below the primary tour, but she's still considered a professional, I think. But she auctioned off exclusive lifetime ownership of part of her right arm between her elbow and her shoulder, like a 6 inch by 3 inch patch.
Oh no!
It sold for 3 Ether, which is about a little over $5,000.
That's
what this allows the owner is the ability to ink whatever they want on it. With some she mentioned some exceptions with like essentially controversial stuff.
Yeah.
But she left it up to the person, like you can ink it with whatever you want, or you could leave it bare and then try and resell it in the future. But like being the first person who has done something like this, and if she ends up being, a good tennis player like on the tour, I think she's pretty young, so who knows? She could be a talent.
Dude, 5,000 is not enough.
Oh, I agree with that. But also I don't know, because she's not like on the tour yet or anything. That's probably quite a bit of money
for me though.
But she also has tattoos all over, so like I don't think that really holds a lot of like
value.
The dilution. You know what I mean?
It's not scarce enough.
No, I just mean it's probably doesn't matter.
I know, yeah, exactly.
To her as much.
Well, if it's the only one, it's gonna draw your attention.
I think it also, she was trying to say like it's gonna bring fans and athletes, like NFTs in general are gonna bring fans and athletes together.
Yeah, I agree.
More than like anything else in the past. This might be a little extreme, but to each their own.
Yeah, it is interesting.
It was certainly an interesting story.
Yeah. My favorite is, so last week we didn't talk about the SNL skit, which we could have because it was out already. But some of you may have seen the SNL skit that they aired on their last episode in March. And they basically did a sketch about NFTs. It was like a rap video. It was funny. It was definitely entertaining. It was quick, very fast paced, talking about some different, just obscure NFTs that maybe out there, or maybe they just contrived on their own. But
they seemed like adjacent to NFTs. Like the one was like clearly NBA Top Shot related, but they didn't say it or anything. Yeah.
So then that whole video, like 3 or 4 minute video, they turned that into an NFT itself. So it's art imitating art at that point, right?
Oh my gosh.
And it's sold for
postmodernism.
Yeah. It's sold for $350,000.
So was this NBC who created it? Okay. So, I mean, yeah, it's like, to me, is provenance the right word? Like the origin of the NFT is going to matter so much. Like, yeah, because we talked about other people just like making videos of, or like stealing someone else's YouTube video that's popular or something and then making an NFT. Like that to me doesn't hold any value, but if it's minted by the creator of it, that will.
Yeah. Tell us about Gucci.
Yeah, Gucci, other luxury fashion brands are poised to launch NFTs.
What are they turning into NFTs?
Like they're still very early stages from what I understand. They're just saying
they just want to make money off the digital world. Got it.
That's exactly right. And I think it's like the first to get to this space from like fashion perspective.
Actually,
Yeah.
I think the correlation is huge between this space and the Gucci fashion world, because I feel like this whole thing is like, I have way too much money, so I'm gonna throw it at something that's gonna make me look really with it. Like that's how I
Yeah.
feel. That I don't know. Like I'm gonna own the latest NFT.
Yeah, there's definitely that idea of like people flexing with the
Yeah,
stuff that they own, like just like social media with places they
yeah.
go and things they do. It's the same kind of thing.
No, not that everyone that has a Gucci, item is just flexing, but I feel like
Hmm.
Gucci itself is just impractical. Like I could spend $20 for a purse or like $2,000 for a
Well,
purse. And
now
so
you'll
like
be spending $2,000 for a digital purse that you can put on
now
your.
that's practical.
But yeah, like I mean, when we were talking about lazy Mark Cuban's gallery project thing and just kind of social media, this is what it's going to evolve into, people showing off the things that they own, or like
Yeah.
not even showing off necessarily, but like as you're part of a community, a different community when you own something that other people in the community own.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? That's
definitely.
interesting.
Yep. That's why we're gonna do our social token.
Oh boy, I can't
Whoa,
wait.
it's gonna be awesome.
What are we going to charge for this?
We're gonna just talk it up every episode, and then it's gonna be the dumbest thing ever. We're not gonna charge anything.
Even if we made it free, it'd be $50 in gas fees.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. Like that's why I want to talk about the marketplace episode, which is still coming. Like, is there any marketplace that doesn't have gas fees? Like I thought I read somewhere that there was.
Yeah, I think there are, or they're like chains off of Ethereum that allow for these transactions to be gas free, I think.
And just in case any of our listeners don't know what gas fees are, basically anytime you make a transaction on the Ethereum blockchain, which the Ethereum blockchain is the most prominent blockchain for most of these NFTs, every time you make a transaction, there's a charge called gas or gas fee, and that rate changes. But right now, it's just extraordinarily high. It's like, depending on what you're buying and how, I don't know, it's different, but for a small transaction I was trying to do was going to be $60. The least that I've been up against was 60, and the highest I paid 80 for a transaction. And like, I'm
essentially you're paying for computational power, because your transaction needs to be verified by independent nodes on the blockchain, and that requires computing power. But also, there's only so much that can go through the network at one time, and it's super congested because of all these projects, that the fees just keep going up, because if you want your thing to go through, you need to pay for it.
Very well put. Yeah, and you could pay more for faster service.
Exactly. Yeah, which I did not realize, which I'm just going to segue into my Zedrun anecdote here. So Zedrun, we talked about it a little bit a couple weeks ago. Essentially, it's like you own a stable, you can buy horses to race, and you're like essentially trying to build a legacy. It's like, it sounds crazy, but like I was spending a lot of time just browsing, and I wanted a horse.
I wanted a horsey.
I wanted a horsey so bad. And so for the longest time, it was kind of like Top Shot, where there were no packs available. There were no horses. So the only way you could get them was off of the marketplace. And that was like a side chain of Ethereum that I couldn't even find where the marketplace was. So talk about like ease of use. We're not there yet.
Go on the dark web.
Yeah, it felt shady. But so there was a drop, 2,000 horses last Friday, and they release them every half hour, starting with the Z1s and 2s, which are the most elite, like the lower the number, the best horse they are. And these are the Nakamotos. And I go on at 5 to look, and the Z1s are going for $17,000. And so I'm waiting for the next tier and the next tier and the next tier. And the Z10s come out, which is the last one in the drop. And they're like $100 and still more than I want to pay, but I wanted some skin in the game. I'm going to try and get a horse. And so like the drop starts and like there's just like the screen, there's horses on it and they're just like disappearing. And so it's like I'm mad scrambling trying to just like click on them, and I click and I go through MetaMask and confirm transaction, and then it like puts you on a screen that you don't know if you got it or not. And so I go on another one and I click it, and same thing happens. So I did that twice.
Oh no.
Ended up with no horses, but I got charged gas fees.
I knew it. Oh no.
Not full gas fees, but fractional. It was like $8. But like,
okay.
Yeah,
all right.
It wasn't a big thing. But like, I didn't realize when I was doing this that like you're still paying for that computational power. Man. That like even if your transaction fails, you still got to pay the gas.
I thought you were gonna say like because I clicked another one and I clicked another one like 4 times, like $250, and then you didn't get a horse.
No, I did it twice. I lost like $15, and I also didn't realize that people were like adjusting their tolerance for like they were making their transactions go through by paying like hundreds of dollars in gas to get a horse. Like, and then I was doing it on my phone, which like is probably super inefficient.
Yeah, these gas fees are really interesting because I bought a little bit of crypto, and we'll probably talk more about crypto in the future, but like I'm having to calculate the amount that I'm wasting because like if I'm spending 20% of my investment in US dollars goes to gas fees, then as soon as I buy that crypto, I'm already down 20%. So that's more that I need my investment to increase by that much more just to break even. But I can't just do that. I do it twice so that when I cash out, I'm breaking even. So it's such a
if you're going to trade it, you're definitely going to have to consider. But also you have to consider, you're talking about like swapping currencies, which like if people just want to buy cryptocurrency like Bitcoin or Ethereum, you can do that on Coinbase or one of the other ones where you're not paying these fees. You might pay a fee.
That's true.
To Coinbase, but it's very minimal.
That's true. But buying and selling crypto,
some of the more speculative tokens and stuff, you have to do through, like they're not on Coinbase, so you have to.
That's a good point. When you're buying Bitcoin or Ethereum with US dollars, you don't pay the gas. But once you buy something else with Ethereum, you are now paying gas. And
correct.
This particular crypto was in Ethereum. So just a crazy world.
I just don't want to scare people off of the idea of cryptocurrency because you can just buy Bitcoin if you want to buy Bitcoin.
Yeah. All right. So, man, I love that. I love that. Thank you for that.
Of course.
So I think it is finally time for
Tweet of the Week.
Tweet of the Week.
I got a couple tweets of the week, and also, some of them are just like
that song.
Tweets of the week. And then we need retweets of the week.
Yeah, that's right.
So this first one, it was just a tweet from it's NFT Jewelry that someone created. And they're like creating a company around this idea. It's almost like just like the size of an Apple Watch screen, but like on a necklace. And then people are uploading like the digital art they have, and there's like, rhinestones, diamonds, whatever on it. And it's cool and a way to showcase your art or whatever you might have on it.
Cool.
It made me start thinking about how people might display them in the physical world in the future.
Isn't that so funny? Like we're working so hard to get digital, and now we're trying to figure out how to make our digital things physical.
I know. Oh goodness. The other thing was a Paris Hilton tweet. She said, "I'm so excited about NFTs. Here's why I think NFTs are the future and everything you need to know to get in the game." maybe we can put the link in, because I actually thought the blog post was pretty good. Not that I'm like I don't know much about Paris Hilton, to be honest, but
Yeah.
some of the highlights from the blog post that I thought were interesting was she was talking about how COVID just shed a light on kind of, I don't know, the potential of digital worlds, because we're already living such digital worlds that, like, I think the logical leap is not as great as it once was.
Mm-hmm.
She talked about the empowerment for artists and creators, getting, I mean, first of all, like, we're going to talk about marketplaces in the future, but OpenSea, from what I was seeing, which is one of these marketplaces, like, it doesn't cost you anything to actually, like, I think, post an NFT or like mint it, but like you just pay once, like OpenSea would get a cut once it's sold. And then the creator keeps like the vast majority of the profit, which I assume in like the art world and stuff, that's not the case. I don't know though. I'm probably talking out of turn, but like,
Yeah, it depends. I think if you open a gallery somewhere, the gallery owner probably takes a cut, but
yeah, I guess in my mind, it's just more of a significant cut.
Or an auction house. I mean, yeah.
And then it's a one sale, and then the creator's done. Whereas with NFTs, they're continually getting these royalties. And she was talking about it from the fashion perspective. And she was just really kind of leaning into the digital avatars thing, which is a crazy concept for me to wrap my head around, that like we could be living like Ready Player One lives where we're just like in the oasis,
Wait, are you talking about the movie or the book or both? Have you read the book?
I've only seen the movie.
Okay. I just finished the book like 2 months ago. And
I mean, the movie, I thought the movie was great.
The movie was fantastic. I loved the movie, but I saw the movie first and then I read the book, and like this was all happening. Like I was learning about NFTs within a week of like starting this book, and my mind was just exploding. Because I mean, they live in this world. Yeah.
It doesn't seem like that insane of a reality, maybe not in our lifetime, but
I know that's
in the future. So she was talking about fashion, and that's obviously her thing, I guess I shouldn't say obvious. Her thing is fashion, I guess. But she was just talking about how fashion designers and things could be creating digital items for people as well. And then you still have this built-in scarcity, where something is more valuable than something else because of the inherent scarcity. So anyways, interesting article, and just cool to see new people talking about it.
Yeah, we're going to link the blog in the description of our YouTube video. So if you're in YouTube, you can find it there.
Cool. And then I guess we'll just go on to the main tweet of the week that I just found today. And I just thought it was great, and we could probably talk a lot about it.
Yeah, so this one is a thread. I have not read this yet. Graham's going to read it for us. I'm going to follow along. And if you're on YouTube, we'll post it so you can follow along as well.
So the Twitter handle is yeah, or @2yeah, and his picture is a CryptoPunk. So he's in those streets.
In the game.
So it's a thread. One, an NFT state of mind. When it benefits society, people are collectively willing to believe just about anything. And that is his like general thesis of this tweet. Number two, what is money? Stewards of fiat have been negligent and the people are taking action. I think this is mostly in reference to massive stimulus packages and inflating the currency, devaluing the dollar. Bitcoin and Ether are becoming money because society has decided it benefits them to believe that it is. Crypto is a journal entry on blockchain, yet the collective market cap is over $2 trillion, which is just insane. And I feel like when I started investing in Bitcoin little by little, one of the things that just like kept resonating with me was this idea of what is money.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you start asking those questions and like considering them, it doesn't seem like it. There are enough people in this universe that believe Bitcoin is valuable. And that's true of just so many things. And in the NFT space as well, it's just like at the core, like money is just like what I've heard is a belief system that two people believe what they're exchanging has value.
Yeah.
And like in prison, that could be cigarettes,
Yeah.
like it's like examples like that. I don't know. Anything interesting?
No, just that when I was in prison, it was ramen noodles. But
That's a good one too.
have you seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
I have.
Yeah,
I started watching it actually.
No way.
Yeah.
I think season 4 or something. There's a prison. Anyways, he's undercover in prison. Something about ramen noodles. It was
Underrated show. Or maybe it's
so
properly
good.
rated. I don't know. I just hadn't heard much about it and then started watching it on Hulu.
It's very funny.
Agreed. Number 3, valuing abundance. The world has gone digital, yet digital goods carry little value despite generating tremendous value to society. Digital goods are both abundant and not scarce, and for this reason, they have been inadequately valued. Sorry, I'm like rereading that in my head. It made sense when I first read it.
Interesting. That's a good point. The world is so digital, and yet digital goods carry no value or little value.
Right, in our current society.
Yeah, because they're not scarce enough. Okay, yeah. And
then
it sounds like he's setting up the next
He's setting up number 4, abundance and scarcity. Enter non-fungible tokens, NFTs, and what is abundant can be scarce. So now you're taking something that is potentially limitless, but you're attaching a scarcity to it. NFTs are a token that represents ownership of a specific digital item. The digital item can be infinitely recreated for free, yet provably only one owns it.
Yeah.
So number 5, first use case. Art is the first use case to gain adoption and is 10 times better.
So by art, he means just NFTs are the first.
NFT, right? I think NFT art.
Okay.
Comparing it to what we know as art now, physical art.
Yeah. And so it's better because, go ahead.
Number 1, provably authentic. So
yeah,
we can confirm it is what it is on blockchain. Has transparent provenance, which is that idea of like you can see via blockchain who the original owner was, who minted it.
Mm-hmm.
So making sure that Tom Brady NFT was created, minted by Tom Brady and not me or someone else. Secure on blockchain, yet globally and instantly accessible. So people across the globe can be instantly trading these, which is so cool. Royalty monetization for creatives, which we've talked about because every future resale, creators getting a cut, which is in the physical art space, they sell it once and then they're done. And then enhanced liquidity. I don't know if you can address that one.
Yeah, I think that just means the market is easy to use and you can buy and sell, and there's not a huge barrier. I mean, there is a barrier, but not a huge barrier to, you don't have to go to some auction house just to buy a piece of art. Like you just.
Right. Once you start understanding the basics, it's pretty easy to get in there. And these are just a few of the significant improvements. Number 6, right-click save. Folks can right-click save, but that does not equal ownership. And we hear this a lot with people just saying, like, I can watch it on YouTube for free. I can download that picture. Society will value the token representing ownership because it benefits society to believe so. We need digital goods to be scarce, and people will believe it because it is in their interest to do so. And I feel like that's like kind of just on the same idea as cryptocurrency in general. Like it's going to be in everyone's best interest at some point to believe it is valuable.
Yeah.
I believe that very much.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, for sure. And then the more people you get invested in the space, the more people who have a financial incentive for these beliefs to continue, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I would say like the more stuff, I think he kind of gets into it here. 7, this is crazy. This sounds crazy. We know that. So did Bitcoin, and tackling what is money is a harder challenge than is digital scarcity. At some point, people will change their state of mind just as they did with money. It's kind of what we just hinted at. And then this is where it gets me, the rabbit hole. Go down the rabbit hole, see if something resonates, something you can't stop thinking about 1 week later. Buy it, see how it makes you feel. Do you feel ownership? Is it so crazy to think that others may feel the same? Because for me, my first soiree into this was buying Top Shot moments. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it was all I was thinking about for that first week, and beyond. And just this idea of ownership. And I certainly, the more stuff that I get, feel that ownership. If I would have got a digital horsey, you better believe I would have loved that horsey just like it was a real physical horse that I don't have to.
Oh, you're so sweet.
I would be giving you daily updates. And it just about those horses, they all come with like cool names and stuff. Like, oh man, it's just so fun. But yeah, so I mean, it's like the more, I don't know, you have to just jump in and start exploring it to really get it.
Yeah.
And if you stay on the sidelines, I think you'll just keep saying that's stupid and not going to be anything.
Yeah.
And
number 9,
he kind of just closes with the same thing. An NFT state of mind. At a certain point, society will decide that NFTs equal ownership and we will all be better off for it. It is to your benefit if you open up to having an NFT state of mind. And then he just has he has a lot of resources.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can check out that tweet from Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah. Good thoughts.
Very.
Yep. They're here to stay. And it'll be interesting because right now they're kind of written off by a large percentage of the world. It feels like just like, oh yeah, there's that fad, that thing. But what's it going to look like in 10 years when they're not news anymore? Mm-hmm. And the only things that make news are the new innovative ways that they use them.
And, in the future, we won't even be talking about gas fees because they won't be a thing.
I don't think so either. Yeah.
And people will, being in the beginning saying we paid gas fees, people will like not be able to understand that. Right.
Just like makes me think of stock trading. There used to be a fee. You had to pay a broker for every transaction you made in the stock market. And it was it was a chunk. It was a percentage usually. Mm-hmm. And now for a stock itself, I mean, options are another story, but a stock itself, there's no fees on 90% of, brokerage, TD Ameritrade or Webull. There's tons of them. They're all free. Robinhood.
Yeah. And was Robinhood like, I guess, a big instigator of that because
they probably
were making it available, so the others just kind of followed suit.
Yeah, their big goal from the beginning was to make investing in the stock market accessible for the retail investor, the little guy.
And that's kind of what the NFT space is doing for artists. Like, you don't have to have your own gallery. You can put your stuff up for free, mint it, and if people like it, they can invest in you. Yeah. Like, I don't know. It's eliminating these barriers that existed. It's cool.
I've seen some really cool NFTs where the physical art world meets the digital art world in that, like I saw one where a girl she painted 100 some paintings and they scroll through real quick. And it was like, she made her own animation. And like, maybe that's not a big deal because we see animation all the time. That is the birth of Walt Disney's, animated movies are, that's all it is. It's just a bunch of artwork moving quickly, but it's like, this is just some individual who painted these in her own studio in her home and stitched them together and is selling them online. Like, it's accessible.
That's cool.
It's really.
And
neat.
if you find a market for it and you're doing something original, like, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
You're getting opportunities you didn't previously have.
They were beautiful. They were really cool. I enjoyed them. That's the kind of thing I would own if, you know, if I were to buy one. Like,
and do you feel like you would, if you ended up making that purchase, like that sense of ownership?
I'd be proud of that. Yeah, I would. Yeah. I would want to, like, and like we talked about earlier, I would want to put it in my home in a digital frame and be able to tell the story when people came over to see it. Like, yeah, this girl there's 170 paintings there, or whatever it is. And like, it's cool. I think it does bridges, you know, the digital and physical art world in a unique way. So it's cool.
Definitely. Yeah, it's just an interesting idea though, like how many people are interested in the art outside of like buying it to put in a digital frame to put in their house. Like how many people, like, would you be interested in owning that not physically? Like if there was a better way to display it in the metaverse or whatever.
Then yes. Yeah, if Mark Cuban's lazy.com becomes vibrant enough where I, you know, would be, because life is, so I believe, you know, life is meant to be shared with people. And so like, I'm not going to buy something just for myself. I mean,
Definitely.
maybe sometimes we do that, but I don't think I would think it was worth the purchase. But if I could buy that and share that in my home or with my friends, and it's a conversation starter or something else, then I would see more value in it. And I don't know.
Yeah, no, and those are good thoughts.
Think more about that.
And I think you're also investing in the artist, and like I think that kind of gives you a connection with the artist, like a kind of community type thing, because the artist knows who owns their pieces, and maybe they, you know, have some sort of community with that.
I also think it's cool that an artist can mint that 5 times, or, you know, whatever, like however many times, whereas a small artist, independent artist, probably can't have their art reprinted, you know, and sell 100 of them. But in the NFT space, you could do that.
And then you could appeal to different price points and people. Like you could have your one of one for the super wealthy, but you could print 200 of a piece that more people could afford that like your work.
Yeah. We're going to wrap this one up.
That was a fun episode, Andy. I enjoyed that.
I like that too. And we may have to do more of this sort of format where we just talk about stuff and rehash the news, and because it's a fun world to talk about, interesting things. So,
and I don't know that we're necessarily qualified to be educating people on bigger ideas at this point.
That's probably true. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for listening. And we will hope to see you again, or hear you again, or have you hear us. I don't know. Talk to you soon. Fungibility.